Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 14, also known as Join Me in Paradise. And we have reached the outskirts of Avery's paradise, Libertalia. This is the pirate city he built with his what do you call them? Co-workers? Co-pirates? Co-looters? Anyway, this was supposed to become the utopia where all the pirates could live together somewhat peacefully, I guess. A long way away from the long arm of the law. And I'm quite interested in how they were supposed to get that to work. If they were to have shops and stuff like that where they could buy things they needed, who would man these shops? Would they Shanghai people to work in them for them? Or, oh, you were just a lowly sailor. I don't know any nautical terms. So you need to work in the general store. And anyway, right there you saw a little transition. What happened there was that I walked in on the left side behind Avery's statue. And the reason for that transition is the fact that the layout of this place can be a little bit confusing. Because it has been really overgrown and everything looks the same. And as I've said earlier, I didn't do a practice run. Maybe I should have done that watching some of these videos. So I ran around this place for 10 or 15 minutes before I managed to find my way. So I had to trim out a little bit. But when you get past the statue of William Avery, you need to make a left to get into that building. And now we are getting to the second part if you're going for the peaceful resolution. Since you watched chapter 13, I have already botched it, but this actually is a lot easier to sneak through than chapter 13. All you need to do here is to find a rhythm. And luck favors the bold in this part actually. I got that little bell sound, or whatever you call it, that I had almost been spotted. They caught a glimpse of me, so I was a bit anxious. But as long as you keep your momentum going, you shouldn't have too much problems. And always keep an eye out on where the guards are. That is essential. Because I got really lucky. I just flowed through this first area like more or less a ghost. And everything worked out great. And the other good part about this, in comparison to chapter 13, is that this place actually has checkpoints. Imagine that. Wouldn't chapter 13 have been so much easier if they had put in at least one checkpoint in that big area? You know where I started throwing grenades before we got into the last section? Would it have killed the developers at Naughty Dog to put a checkpoint there? All the enemies behind you are dead, and all you need to get past is that last gauntlet with the ultra heavy and his jolly little friends. That could have been a really redeeming factor, but no, they decided to do it checkpointless. I have no idea if that's a correct term, but I'm sticking with it. It's checkpointless. Actually, the first checkpoint I know of is right here, I think. Yes, it is. Because if you die here, you will respawn right where I'm standing, actually, more or less. And that guard that's closest to me, he will be gone. He will be off on his little patrol pattern somewhere else. I have no idea where, actually, because I got past him without any problems at all. And I think... No, wait. That's true. Yes, I did get past him. But even if you don't manage to get through this next section, take this route I'm taking right now. Don't go past that guard, because you can see that laser sight, that is a sniper. We're gonna go into a close encounter with that guy. But you don't want to do it just yet. We're gonna sneak up to where he is. And now I'm having a little trouble getting up on this platform. The game wasn't very cooperative. As these games sometimes aren't. And here we have one big heavy. And I think... No, scratch that. Anyway, since I'm spending so much time trying to get up here, the heavy has had time to move back and start going up the stairs again. That doesn't cause any trouble, because you can just tear off his helmet by mashing the triangle button and then go in for a stealth kill. This is where you're gonna need to be fast, because here's the sniper. I'm getting really lucky because he doesn't want to shoot me when it's really close. So just kill him and jump out the window, and now you are more or less safe again. Because no enemies will be able to get you during the last part of this. And before we go into the next stealth section, the AI will reset. Even though all the enemies know where you are right now, they are at full alert. As soon as you get out of this area and start heading into the next one, those in that area will not be alarmed. So we run down here, swing around this corner and jump over to this building. And now we are in the second stealth section. You hear Nate saying something like, "Are we clear? Or are there any more?" And that shows you that you have gotten past the first part of this. And here you will also see another little odd transition very soon. Because I decided to do a leap of faith. And that didn't work. Not at all, actually. Because I wanted to jump in one direction. Nate decided to jump in a completely other direction. So I ended up down there at the bottom of the abyss. This guy doesn't pose a problem. He's just standing there so we can kick him off the ledge. And here you will see the transition, and the checkpoint puts you in on the roof of the building I'm standing in now. So that is where you need to go. Head up one more floor. And now you will see, there it is. So now I'm standing on the roof of the building I was just in. And then we swing around this way. Very soon, at least. Kinda lost my momentum. And I think this part is actually easier. Because here you can stay on more or less the edge the entire time. This place can be a little bit finicky. Do not swing on that rope thing. Instead, move over to this big rock and start climbing immediately. Because I did a few attempts before I got a successful run of this. And when I tried doing the rope swing thing, I always got spotted. So instead, just head for the cliff. And this is also the area where luck favors the bold, because I don't manage to stay sneaky all the time. Because I got a little bit restless. Because when I get close to the end of this, I almost get spotted. And I decided to just go balls to the wall, head for the exit. Everyone saw me and they start shooting. For king and country and mom's apple pie. I'm a big fan of apple pie, actually. Not while I'm in a mid-combat in a game, but usually. And here you may hear the guards. They spotted me a little bit, and this is the exit. So I decided to just tuck my balls and go for it, because why not? And if you manage to do the peaceful resolution, this is the end of that section. Because now we have gotten past all the enemies. And I can't remember exactly what the terms for that trophy is. I can't remember if it's that you don't or you're not allowed to kill anyone, or you just can't shoot anyone. I don't think you're allowed to kill anyone. That's why it's called peaceful resolution, and I think that's why I got trolled a few times going for it, because Sam decided to shoot people. And I'm trying to fire at this guy right now, which is a complete and utter waste of ammunition. There's no point. If you end up in a situation like me, where people are firing, I wanted to check if I could swing around the other side. But there's no point in doing it, just head for the exit. And here is another checkpoint. You saw a little transition there right now, once again. And that is also leap of faith related. I did not get killed by any enemies. They still were firing while I was climbing up the inside of this tower, which was a little bit stressful, but since it's made out of very old rock, I was completely safe in here. But once again, it's quite interesting how uncooperative the platform can be in this game. Because I've talked about that I experienced a lot of cheap deaths recording this, and I think it's in the chapter coming up. I had what may be the cheapest death I have ever encountered in a video game. I think I may even put up a little video. I'm gonna see if I still have the raw video footage of it. If I do, I think I will actually do a little bonus video, like, you know, I did one on the cheapest death ever in The Last of Us, and also on that weird glitch I came across in Uncharted 2, where the game suddenly moved me from one spot to another, went completely teleporting X-Files style. But I'm gonna check through my hard drives, and if I still have the raw footage, I think I'm gonna put it up. Because I think it's in the next chapter, I'm not 100% sure. But there is a place where you move up to a door. People are firing at you, everything is really intense. And when you open that door, a grenade comes flying out. And that is a completely scripted sequence. There is nothing you can do about it. And Nate goes into an animation where he dodges out of the way. It's a cutscene, basically. And I have died to that grenade. I have no idea how it happened, why it happened. I just know it happened. So I really hope I still have the video, because one of those bizarre moments where the programming just says fuck you and trolls you completely. But the good part was that there is a checkpoint just a few seconds before it, I think. It's very, very short section, very intense. Maybe like, probably a bit like the last moments of what went down right here. Because we can see here that I think this is the entry to the inner sanctum of Libertalia, where all the high chiefs or high captains lived. And as you can see, something went terribly wrong. Shit went down. There are piles of corpses lying out in the courtyard. Could it be that there is no honor among thieves, as some wise person once said? Well, we'll find out later, because this is the end of the chapter, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.